Bienvenue dans la Question Noire. En marge des entretiens thématiques, nous demanderons à chacun de nos invités de définir ce que nous appelons la noirceur politique. Voici l'une de leurs réponses.
So the question of Black consciousness is really a question of, firstly, a question of ideology and a question of identity. Who are we? And I think it was Frantz Fanon when he says that when the colonizer colonizes African people, they don't see us as human being having this sense of self and so forth. They see us as the sum total of everything, you know, the shrubs, the water, the rivers and so forth, everything that's there at their disposal to, you know, to use for their own benefit, you know. So we don't have a sense of self according to the colonizer. And that's what colonialism does. It takes away everything from you that was supposed to give you the assumption of being a human being. They took your culture away, you know, they took your land away from you, they took even your labor, they took everything away from you. So you have to come back to yourself and ask yourself, who am I exactly? And that's what confronts African people right now. So when you talk about consciousness, the awareness of who are we, look at African people all over the world. In the Americas, in America, we were firstly referred to as Negroes, you know, niggers, and then we became colors, we became African Americans and Black Americans and so forth. All these are names. And then when you come to South Africa, you have Black people that are referred to as colored. And that's supposed to mean you are from a different race. The concept of race is developed to justify the idea that African people deserve to be enslaved because they have a faith of the white man's brain and so forth, right? That's where the whole notion of racism and race comes from the ideology coming from the white man to justify where he has to colonize us, and he gives us all these kind of identities. And the two people, actually I'm going to add the third person because this third person is very crucial. The first one I want to talk about is Walter Rodney from Guyana, and then Steve Biko from here in occupied Azania, South Africa, and lastly Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who sums everything up. Let's start Walter Rodney in the book Groundings, the Groundings with my brothers, which is a collection of his speeches and so forth when he was in Jamaica. He says something like African people, like not only African people, those people who are referred to as non-whites, wherever you go, because the white man decides who we are. He has the power to decide who the hell we are. So all those people, they propose that we're going to identify as Black. And that's the similar thing that Steve Biko did here. He said the so-called colors, so-called African and so-called Indian, because the main contradiction is the white man. We're going to refer to ourselves as Black, and we're going to develop a consciousness around our oppression. This is the thing that's going to unite us, you know. So it's really a question of identity. Who are we? And we say we are Africans. We are Africans because we don't just simply want to say Black, you know, because Black can still confine you within the political structure of your colonizer. You just fighting to say I am Black and I know who I am, and then accept me for who I am. So you're still fighting around the question of identity, but within the context of relaxing the structure so that you can be accepted. But if you say African, now we are fighting for a nation. That's why Marcus Garvey was so instrumental. He said, Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad. You know, so we're fighting for an African nation. For me, Black consciousness right now today is African internationalism. The political theory of African internationalism is the Black consciousness because it takes you beyond questions of who am I, but it also takes you to questions of where are you as a person? What's your relationship with other human beings in the world? Because African people don't live in isolation. Outside of the forces that are impacting the world right now, we are in relation to other human beings. So, so what is the relationship that Black people have with other human beings? You know, we are colonized. We are colonized people. That has to be part of the Black consciousness, the African consciousness. We are colonized. That's why we are opposed to this idea of mental slavery. Black people are not suffering from mental slavery. Black people are suffering from slavery, from colonialism. We are enslaved right now. Right now, here in South Africa, there's gonna be a curfew at 9 p.m. So I can say I'm free in my mind. I'm Black conscious. I'm liberated. And then I try to walk on the streets during curfew. What's gonna happen? The police will come and arrest me. The colonial police will come and arrest me. So you can be free in your mind, but then outside in the real world, you're not free until you fight for the freedom. So Black consciousness must include questions of how the social system was born, whether does it rest on the pedestal of the oppression of African people, what should African people do in order to liberate ourselves? We need organization, we need political theory, we need own power, we need to take control of Africa. So we're gonna take Africa, the concept of Black consciousness outside of this abstraction, this academic abstraction of the ontological, all these terms that academic people use, So revolutionaries should take control of the ideological influence of the masses of our people. Revolutionaries have to take the lead. We need revolutionaries more than anything else. Uhuru.